In the past week, we have logged in all of the food that we have consumed into the MyFitnessPal app. This was from October 30th to November 5th, listing our breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Logging your food can be an important factor for people who are trying to gain weight or lose weight because it can help you guide your way of eating into a more suitable form so you can progress with your goal, leading to overall health. A difficulty that I found with logging my food intake on MyFitnessPal app was that sometimes the right food did not come out, so I had to improvise and find the closest meal to what my meal was. What I found easy with the MyFitnessPal app was that you can organize the food to the slots that you wanted to, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. MyFitness app is a great source for people who are trying to take a better understanding of their nutrient and food intake. It allows you to modify your meal plans so that you can reach your weight loss or weight gain goal. Starting off with the micronutrients. For carbohydrates intake, my goal was 50%, but it averaged out to 40% for me, meaning that I did not reach my goal. A technique that can help me reach my goal is to intake a little more grain so I can close the percentage gap out. For fat intake, my goal was 30%, but it averaged out to 33%, meaning that I reached my goal, but I went just a bit over the goal. I wouldn't want to do anything to my fat intake because it's a small gap to close out the percentage, and no need for that. For protein intake, my goal was 20%, but it averaged out to 27%, meaning that I went over what my goal was. A technique that I will do to reduce the protein intake is to reduce the amount of proteins and exchange them with grains so I can balance my carbohydrate intake with the protein intake. My caloric intake was pretty close to what my calories goal was. My goal was to consume 3,320 calories per day, and my net average was 3,884 calories per day. When I installed the app on my phone, I answered a question that my goal was to increase my weight. Some healthy things that I can do in order to accomplish my weight gain goal is to intake more carbohydrates than protein so that I won't miss out on any nutrients, vitamins, and minerals needed in order for the body to function properly. I am a proud member of the Hispanic and Mexican American community. As Hispanics, we like to consume a large number of red meats and corn-based products like tortillas, tamales, gorditas, and many more dishes. For family gatherings, we like to feed the guests of the party with many types of food. As many Hispanics say, it's better to have more food than less food for the guests. What we can do to change the food diet into a healthy food diet for Hispanics would be to change the food that is generally more healthy, like having wheat-based food so that we won't exceed our protein intake, calorie intake, or carbohydrate intake, and fat intake. This will change the culture just a little bit, and it might infuriate some Hispanics because once they hear healthy, they seem to lose an interest in the food. But it would be a great way to not create a big dent into the Hispanic culture. When I started my SMART goal, I only thought that I needed to consume protein in order to turn into muscle and hopefully gain 5 pounds. But over the time that I took this course, I learned that it doesn't just involve protein, but many other factors. So a thing that I may have to change is the protein intake and reduce it, exchanging it with carbohydrates. I will continue to monitor the foods that I eat so I can make sure that I am meeting my micronutrient goals. I can continue with the same workout routine as it is something that can help me gain more muscle, as I've already seen a bit of progress gaining 3 pounds without losing most of my running endurance. Over the past time, I have learned many things that involve a healthy body, including cardiovascular risk and how it plays a role on your mortality risk, cardiovascular system, and what you can do to maintain it in a good condition, and safe workouts and methods so that you won't overload the body. But during this past week, I have learned on how to know what type of foods you can eat to help you reach your end goal of whatever the goal might be. It is important to know what foods you can eat so you can stay healthy and stay that way for a long period of time.